see this one. Speaks of computations.
This is the latenightcreep.com. Stay creeping.
And I mean, I've had another situation where I don't know if a dude was trying to rob me or if he was just trying to beat me up. But this was after the whole Canada. This was this year. This was like a few months ago. And I was coming out of a
Pharmacy. I went to the pharmacy to use the ATM. I'm coming out the pharmacy. I don't know if dude was watching me use the ATM or what, but he never said a word. I'm coming out. He swung on me early in the morning, like 10 o'clock in the morning. That's why
He just swung you. This is after the Can I get a
it's
drop?
after the can I get a drop shit.
You gotta have niggas around.
I mean, I do now. I keep my man with me, but the bad part about that is I beat the shit out the dude.
Oh, really?
In the pharmacy, like
you should did some game shit. Had that record for that
that's
Rose
whack.
Dawn shit.
That's corny. Like, no, like that's whack. That's not what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got the surveillance video. The store got the surveillance video, and the police were just like,
you gotta let me know what store it is. I'm gonna get it on some TMZ shit.
The police were just like, wow, like, you really got the best of that dude, whatever. But to me, like, I didn't like to win or lose. That's not a good feeling. You know what I mean?
What happened with that Busta Rhymes thing?
I was in LA. It was my birthday. It was actually my actual birthday. And I was in LA, and Busta walked up to me, and he was like, "Yo, can I speak to you for a minute?" I'm like, "All right, what's up?" He was like, "You know me, dog?" Man, what do you mean? Do I know you? He's like, "Do you know me?" So I was drunk, so I said something disrespectful, like, "Yeah, I know you as a rapper that I used to like, but your shit's whack now." But I was thinking that's what he was approaching me about, music. Yeah.
Hey yo, nah. Hey yo, this nigga talks. Hey yo, the beginning of this interview, this nigga talk that positive shit, the 5% of shit, and then he be talking that smack shit at the same time, bro. This shit is greasy, man. Hold on.
It was actually my actual birthday, and I was in LA, and Busta walked up to me, and he was like, "Yo, can I speak to you for a minute?" I'm like, "All right, what's up?" He was like, "You know me, dog?" Man, what do you mean? Do I know you? He was like, "Do you know me?" So I was drunk, so I said something disrespectful, like, "Yeah, I know you as a rapper that I used to like, but your shit's whack now." Because I was thinking that's what he was approaching me about, music.
Yeah.
But he was talking about some old other shit, like some shit I ain't had nothing to do with. My baby mama was on Wendy Williams' show, and you was up there disrespecting me. My nigga, I wasn't even on Wendy's show when your baby mama was on it.
So everybody say he mushed you. Did you like really?
Hell no. That nigga ain't touch me.
True.
Not at all. Not even a little bit. He said, "You better stop that tough guy shit." He had his hand in there. "You better stop that tough guy shit." I said, "You better stop that tough guy shit before we start fighting this motherfucker."
Oh shit.
Straight like that. Like, it wasn't none of that. It wasn't no mush or none of that shit like that. I'm not gonna let no man mush me.
Was there any truth to
it was if you think about it, he could have gotten into the same shit that Troy Ave and what's homie name Taxstone got into. It could have been Charlamagne the God. If he was really giving it up like this in person, it could have been him. You know what I mean? So, I guess the universe just had a different path for him. You know what I mean?
Story that ran a couple of years ago that you beat up Memphis Bleek in the club, something like that. You beat him up and robbed him, took his chain.
No, that happened because
I'm like, yo, it's Charlamagne the thug out here.
Nah, man, that happened because when I was in Columbus, South Carolina, Memphis Bleek and the Young Guns came to the radio station to do an interview. And it was a great interview because I was like, I was being Charlamagne. Like, I was, people say you Jay-Z flunky, like real conversation. Even the Young Guns in there laughing. And Bleek was like rolling with it. He a true pro. And then for some reason the interview didn't record.
Yeah.
And it was weird because Bleek was there and Common was there at the same time. But Common's interview recorded, Bleek's didn't. So our PD at the time, or the APD was like, we got to make up something. So I'm like, all right, let's figure something out.
Wait, so y'all made that story up?
Well, yeah, it was like, it escalated. It was one of those things where it went from Charlamagne and Memphis Bleek got into it.
Okay, and then
by the time it
went to the blogs.
Yeah, we fought. I took his chain and this and that. People on the radio heard it. Like,
they say you hit him with a Cristal bottle or something like that. Took his chain.
It was in the radio. I didn't even hear that. It was.
I heard it was a club. I didn't know.
It was the radio. It was the radio station. But nah, man, I got nothing but respect for Bleek, man. Like, I think Bleek is the epitome of loyalty.
Oh, true.
You know what I mean? I think a lot of times we don't salute that enough. You know, I think sometimes we
I don't think there's no loyalty in the game no more. I think
Bleek's loyal.
Niggas is just loyal as the last check they got from you.
Nah, man, that's his man.
But Jay still paying him, you think, right?
We gotta. I forgot because right now I think the culture is looking at loyalty and they saying Yayo was the epitome of loyalty, but I think people is forgetting about Memphis Bleek, man. They forgetting about Bleek. I wonder who's more. I don't want to do the comparison. Who's more loyal, Tony Yayo or Memphis Bleek? But we could say who's been down longer for their partner, who's a superstar, right? It might be Bleek, man. It might be Bleek because we going back to like Reasonable Doubt and probably before, because Reasonable Doubt is when we heard about Jay-Z, like, you know, he dropped his album, but before that, when Bleek was still down, you know what I'm saying? I think they grew up in the same building or something like that. This is interesting, but I think there should be a list, the most loyal niggas to a superstar in hip-hop. Jungle, Nas's brother, Memphis Bleek, Tony Yayo. I got 3 already. I gotta find like 7. I'm gonna do a top 10. If I remember, I'll do it.
Why not? You say Bleek's in his will, but that's his man from back in the day. That's that Project Love. I got people around me that's like that. Those are my dudes from day one.
But I bet you had niggas that switch up on you because you probably wasn't looking out.
Yeah, but that just means they was flawed niggas from the beginning. That just means they weren't meant to go with me to different levels in my life. When you got people in your life, man, that you've been down with from day one, and they constantly graduate with you to different levels of their life, different levels of your life, you gotta respect that. You gotta appreciate that. Your family that don't never get jealous of you, that's never envious of you, that's just happy to see you winning, that supports that. And knows that you've tried your hardest to help them get put in positions, but things just didn't work out the way that they were supposed to work out. You got to respect people like Bleek, man. I got number love for Bleek.
I feel like loyalty is like the most rarest like trait of any human. You know what I mean? So I don't see much in the game.